My heroes, there are three people. It's my mother, my father, and my sister. When I think about all that it took for my mother and my father to make sure my sister, who was born with cerebral palsy, got an equitable education, when I think about the things that they had to do, this is back in the 60s and 70s when you didn't find individuals with disabilities in the mainstream. Being born with cerebral palsy in her case meant simply that she didn't have the physical capacities. It wasn't an issue of mental issues for her. She was very bright, still is. But, regular schools, quote unquote, regular schools wouldn't take her. And, she didn't belong in some of these other schools where you had such a mixture at that time of individuals with various kinds of disabilities, physical and mental. She wasn't learning anything. So I watched my mother and my father talk to the school administrators, talk to superintendents, talk to people in the district, and debate and engage them to try and get my sister into the mainstream school. I watched my mother and father lobby the congressman, first our congressman, and go to Austin to talk about, why it was important for people with disabilities to get equitable education. And so I watched the fight that they put, that they believed in this, they knew this. So I watched them make this happen for my sister. And my sister, in her own right, very smart young woman. I mean, she, being born with cerebral palsy didn't stop her. Once she got into the main school system, she got her high school diploma. They had to roll her across the stage in her wheelchair because she didn't have an electric wheelchair at that time. And I remember everybody gave her a standing ovation because she had the same courses as every other student there. I remember the same thing when she got her degree in college. When she motored across the stage, everybody rose. So, for my parents to make the decision that we're going to fight, and they literally had to fight every step to get my sister an equitable education, they're my heroes, because what they said is that sometimes it takes someone else to do your battle for you. And they were willing to do that. And I believe they opened the doors for a lot of people, a lot of other kids and people with disabilities. I also believe that's probably where some of my own fighting spirit comes from, and where my sense of equity in the workplace comes from, wanting to create a level playing field for everybody so that when you come into the workplace, you've got an opportunity to excel just like the guy next to you or the girl next to you. I really think they planted a seed within me, and I didn't think so much about it at the time. But I think that was probably the genesis of how I got started in this work that I do around diversity and inclusion and executive coaching and wanting to help other people to excel.